Welcome back to Studio F from Fast Times at Willy B. We'll be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times at Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Kory back with the Wolverine hair.
Let's fucking go.
Kory, how are we doing today?
I'm so tired. What time is it? Midnight?
It's past midnight. It's almost 1, brother.
Midnight 30. I'm going to say midnight 30.
Midnight 30. But we got to see a hell of a movie today.
Yeah, we did.
We're going to start by saying, obviously, this is on every
It was
thumbnail.
Logan, because I watched Logan again today.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start by saying this because it's on every thumbnail, but it needs to be said. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alerts.
Big time. There's
Big time spoiler alerts in about 25 seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot.
When I go through the cast list.
And some of them stick around, too.
So if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to turn away until you watch it. This is one that you should definitely watch after the movie. But anyways,
definitely say so.
Today we'll be reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine, directed by Sean Levy. Mm-hmm. We just went over some movies we didn't know he did. You know, obviously, recently, Adam Project, Real Steel was one that we knew he did.
Free Guy.
Free Guy, but he also did the Night at the Museum movies.
Yeah,
Big
I
Fat
didn't realize
Liar.
that. Yeah, Big Fat Liars, though. What a pull. Night at the Museum
pull.
1 and 2, solid.
Yeah, so
the third one I don't like, but
resume's there. The resume is there. And it was...
you know what, though? I'll be honest. Other than Real Steel, I don't really give a shit about any of it. Except for Big Fat Liar. I do like Big Fat Liar.
This one.
And the first Night at the Museums has a special place in my heart, I guess. But, like, look, I'm talking to you, Free Guy. I hate you. I don't like you.
There you go.
I don't like Free Guy.
He solidified himself today.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Within that first action sequence, I was worried. I'll be the first to say. Like, I liked the direction it was going in, but I was like, this could be bad. This could have been a train wreck. Yeah. And I honestly wasn't sure about Sean Levy. I wasn't really feeling that one. But after that first action sequence at the beginning, which you loved, I was like, I literally said to myself, I was like, I think I'm in good hands. Because that was awesome.
Cast list is just as expensive as any recent MCU project.
It's more expansive because they brought in people that I
never expected to see again.
A decent amount of them. We'll get to it, yeah.
So the big three, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Emma Corrin.
Yeah.
Are our big three. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I mean, we get Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
We get Daphne Keane back.
Yeah.
We get Jennifer Garner back. We get Wesley Snipes back.
Yeah.
We get Chris Evans back.
Yes. And not the way you think.
Not the way you think.
Yeah, we get Marina Baccarin. Look, I'm a big fan of Marina.
I'm a big fan of
Marina Baccarin.
I love Vanessa. I'll say it.
I love Vanessa.
She's queen.
No, absolutely.
When this movie started and they weren't together, I was like, nope, that's not possible.
So did I. I literally, whatever they took that turn, I was like, I
hate this.
I did. I did feel like I felt like a kid who just found his parents got divorced. I was like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Especially Deadpool 2 is my favorite because they rip my heart out, those two in that movie. So that was really
they really did.
That was upsetting. Yeah.
But the list goes on and on.
It goes on and on and on and on in a way that you would not believe. Or you would believe.
Blake Lively.
If you've seen the trailers, I mean, you've seen Blake Lively, so that was one of the voice castings. Did you figure out who Cowboy Deadpool was? I listened to it. I saw. The problem is, a lot of these weren't spoiled for me in leaks. They were spoiled for me in rumors, so I had suspicions. Cowboy Deadpool was Matthew McConaughey.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, which is awesome.
That's the perfect casting.
I thought they were going to rip their masks off. I thought we were going to see...
Yeah, I thought we were going to see Lady Pool too.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. Lady Deadpool was... Yeah. Honestly, now that it's over, I'm glad they went that route. Because I think I would have kind of been like, Blake Lively... But Matthew McConaughey, I think that's the one. See, that's why I wanted them to take it off though, because I was like, I'm pretty sure that's McConaughey.
And then the whole gang's back together. Mm-hmm. You know, we got Yukio, we got Negasonic Teenage Warhead, we got Colossus, we got Blind Owl, we got Pander. Everybody's back.
I try not to live off of cameos, and I don't. I really don't thrive for that stuff usually. I do the first watch experiences, you know, No Way Home, Endgame, all that stuff. But I really wanted to see Cable make a return, and I was kind of bummed he didn't.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin as Cable.
They did mention him though.
They did. He's mentioned.
He didn't make it.
I really wanted to see him because my God, he might be my favorite part about. Again, the love story probably favorite part.
Yeah.
All that stuff's great. Cable is my favorite character in that movie tenfold.
Yeah.
And also, fucking Domino didn't make a return either.
Yeah,
which was kind of
surprised by that.
I thought for sure she would be in there somewhere.
Obviously, we get Peter.
Played by Zazie Beetz, by the way.
The only X-Force member we get is, what was his name?
Shatterstar?
Shatterstar, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one we get back other than Peter.
Yeah, and also...
We don't get Skarsgård, we don't get...
Terry Crews.
Yeah, we don't get any of those guys.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. So I was kind of surprised by that, but it wasn't enough.
It doesn't ruin it.
It wasn't enough of a story to really be like,
sure.
Honestly,
I forgot about some of these members, and I was sitting here trying to be like, who was I disappointed that didn't show up? Because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Because all the shit that happens in this goddamn movie.
For sure. We'll start with the good, and for me, it's just about everything in this movie. Deadpool is 3 for 3.
I have one meh, but yes, 3 for 3. I totally agree.
Deadpool has solidified itself as, it's hard to call it a trilogy now because this one's Deadpool and Wolverine, but the roots, it's a Deadpool movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And now it's competing with the best of comic book trilogies. Only one is a part of the MCU, but I think the MCU needed this movie bad.
No, I wouldn't say I think. I would say absolutely needed it. They said it in the movie.
Them nodding to it in the movie is the best part.
Oh, they knew this. Bold move. One MCU movie this year being this one. That's a very obvious. They were putting all their chips in this Deadpool back. It's obvious. even by pre-sales alone, we knew it was going to work out. Yeah. It's the palate cleanser. After Endgame, you get your Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah. Every now and then you just kind of need that refresher.
Yeah. And,
after the DCEU's crap, you got Joker and the Batman.
Yeah.
Palate cleansers.
Yeah. I love them taking shots at themselves though, and you get it through the dialogue in the sense that
finally
they've got you for until you're 90. You're entering at a low point though.
Yeah.
Just like stuff like that, or
finally
they keep doing this multiverse stuff over and over, and it's just not working.
The Marvel Universe finally removed the stick up its ass.
Yeah,
for sure. And I am interested though, because we will find out in the next year. Eventually, someone will ask, and he will have to answer. Ryan, what did they not let you put in this movie? Because you always think they let everything go, and then you find out that they did not. Even if they said don't put cocaine in it. The references to it were hilarious.
Yes.
Everything was hilarious.
After 35 plus movies and 10 plus series, we got one F-bomb from Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And this movie made up for the past 16 years.
Yeah, they said it a lot.
Hugh Jackman especially.
He might have effing Jeffed around more than Deadpool did.
Yeah.
Which I was, after you watch... part of me wishes that I didn't watch Logan before. I actually wish I had done a rewatch of the X-Men movies. I've seen them all 1,000 times. Yeah. Even the worst ones. Dark Phoenix, I've seen that at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. But
oh well.
But and they're so tame, but they do so good about beating around the bush with Wolverine that whenever you watch Logan and he starts cutting people's necks open and saying fuck and whatever, it hits you. You're like, oh yeah, this is different. You just feel different. So I kind of wished I also didn't watch Logan today, because I think it would have impacted me a little more.
I watched Logan today as well, and I'm glad I did.
Kind of unnecessary. Yeah. Not totally necessary, but definitely helped.
It helps with, the X-23 storyline and her coming back. And
boy, that would have felt weird if you didn't watch that movie.
Yeah, especially by the fire scene where she really talks him up.
And then
that scene would make zero sense without Logan.
In the opening of that scene also would have... not that it would have been fine if you hadn't, but the context is nice.
They did that really well.
I actually really...
Because that was my biggest concern. How do you go about that?
Them respecting and shitting on Logan at the same time was probably... That was also another moment where I was like, I like where this is going. The way they're like, well, how do you think we're going to respect Logan? And then he's like, plot twist, we're fucking not. Yeah. And then he beats the shit out of some TVA guy. Let's just get into it. Beats the shit out of some TVA guys with his adamantium skeleton because he died from adamantium poisoning.
dude.
One of the funniest, greatest, while also singing in sync.
While dancing and singing.
Dancing to in sync. And it was like, something about it was kind of like...
buckle up.
Just what a well choreographed dance and then action together. Something about it just felt... They did their homework, too. They did some in sync fucking moves.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Tearing him limb from limb and just creaming those guys was awesome.
Dude, I wish I could just go back and relive the first 10 minutes on repeat.
I don't blame you.
But the funny part is like after that we get our usual Deadpool opening. You're wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
Backtrack.
I see. For a minute, I was like, God, I hate that they're doing this format
the backtrack was good.
It wasn't bad.
And then we get more of the action right after. And
yeah.
Like you got the back and forth, the guy up his butt.
I was thanking God that they didn't do that all movie. They just did it once.
Yeah.
And then they kind of got through the next 15, 20 minutes. Where we've been at, how we got here, boom, totally great.
Yeah.
Jokes in this were solid. This might have had my favorite jokes in the trilogy.
I was gonna say, when it comes to comedy, Deadpool and comedy are 1-1. This
nowadays in the 90s.
Well, in the movies, I mean.
But yes,
in the all three movies. So this means that me saying this is saying a lot. Mm-hmm. This was definitely the funniest.
I think it was the funniest one.
Daisy, here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40. You don't want this.
I'm trying not to get too overzealous because hindsight's a bitch, ain't it?
Yeah.
So it might just be that it's like, oh, I'm hearing these for the first time, but I don't remember feeling... I don't remember laughing this much in the first two.
Continuously.
Yeah, I felt like an idiot a few times because I was like, I might be the only one laughing. That was funny.
I would like laugh and I'd look down at all 18 of our people in our room. Yeah. Like, okay, everybody's laughing. We're good.
Fun fact: a past roommate, really really close friend of mine, Ben, was sitting. Hi Ben, was sitting a few rows in front of us. He was like, "Yeah, I thought you were behind me," because I was like, "Yeah, I have a pretty distinct and." Loud laugh. So
dude, everybody in our row was having it. That's how I knew that this was hitting. Because it wasn't just me.
So funny.
It wasn't just me.
I was worried because I was like, has this shtick grown old? It did, but it was so good that I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
It did for a minute. I was like, I don't know if I can do these jokes again. Pretty goddamn great. I think the only thing that I'm like, the dog licking his mouth got kind of, like after a while. But it's not like I was like mad at it. It wasn't like the goats in Thor: Love and Thunder. I could have shot Taika Waititi for that.
Oh my god, I hated that.
Yeah,
we get a lot of good fourth wall breaks. I mean, you expect that. One of my favorites is honestly when he's with Nice Deadpool and he goes, "Whatever, man, loud." And he's like, "I can break the fourth wall too." The proposal.
Yeah, that was good. He's like, "What the fuck? Do you think that's what I do?" that was
so out of pocket, but it's so funny.
I also lost it whenever he grabbed him and used him as a human shield.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I think I've been hit." He's bleeding from his mouth. Then he goes, "How long does it take your regenerative healing factor to kick in?" He goes, "Regenerative healing factor." And he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Dude, that was so funny. And then I was expecting him to get a mask, and then later on once it's revealed, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, why would I was like, yeah, you always talk up how handsome you are, Ryan. But it's always like in fun. It's never like douchey.
Yeah, for sure. The comedy though, overall, I mean, we could go on and on about the comedy all day.
Comedy was so
it worked. They pull in other IPs too. They reference Mad Max in this movie after the beheading of Sabretooth.
Right.
Furiosa,
I bet. Yeah, which was great. There was a lot of references to that. They referenced Batman.
Yep.
In this at one point, which I kind of forgot about for a second.
With a little joke.
Yeah, which I was.
Do you like the mask? It's pointy like Batman, but he can turn his neck.
Yeah, makes it more intimidating, doesn't
it?
Yeah. Which I'm such a bitch. So I sat there. I was like, "Hey, Pattinson's you can move in."
Yeah, he was definitely bashing Val Kilmer's.
Absolutely, the Val Kilmer from Keaton to honestly the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
he couldn't move his head.
Yeah,
Batman Begins. Okay, anyway, Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
But
great.
Yeah.
Great jokes all the way through.
Referencing the other IPs, making them funny.
And Hugh Jackman's funny too.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman was hilarious.
I've realized that my favorite version of Deadpool, as a solo man running solo the whole movie, I don't particularly care for. Which is why, like, the first Deadpool, even though it's a great movie, it's still not my favorite of the trilogy.
Yeah.
It's between this or two. I don't even know. We'll talk about that later. But I think he runs best whenever he's working. He has somebody to bounce off.
And Caleb.
Caleb.
It's like a word scramble. He had Cable in the second one. And this one,
the straight man. Because you get this person who's annoyed by it. And it's like, and also, like I said, Hugh Jackman's funny in this too.
Yeah.
Like his time, he has good timing chop. You know, like if you watch The Prestige, he's kind of funny in that at times. But like, especially the point where Deadpool's like talking him through, like, so, you know, you're gonna do a double leg takedown and get into half guard and whatever, and he goes, "Shut the fuck up!" And it's like he's like, "Oh my god, like it's good. It's just good. It's
so funny.
It's good. I don't usually get got by shit like this, but it was good. It was so good.
No, the comedy was stellar. Another scene that was really funny is when he's first trying to find the Wolverines. And the first guy is the short ass Wolverine. And he's like, an accurate Wolverine. Look at you, guy.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
And that's when you get Henry Cavill.
That shocked me. I honestly can't get off the short King thing. The Cavill thing was awesome. The Cavill thing, I people have wanted to see that for a while. Which, like, I mean, yeah, he'd have been great. He's getting a little old. Whatever, but God, it was nice to see him, honestly. And I was like, you know what? Because there were rumors that Daniel Radcliffe was going to be the patch version of Wolverine, and I didn't totally buy into it because I was like, I don't think that would happen. And then, I was okay with Hugh Jackman being all the Wolverine variants. I was. You even get the '90s era Wolverine where he has one hand, you know, and stuff like that. And then they reference the brown and yellow, like, Japan era of Wolverine. So there's a lot of good references. By the way, I love that Wolverine that has one hand hair. That's what it looks like in that era of comics. Terrible, massive for no fucking reason. But I'm glad we got one variant. Anyway. Little Wolverine, I about shit myself.
Dude.
I was like, because I honestly thought every Wolverine.
It starts with his head.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, here, he's meeting the Wolverine, and then it pans out, and you're like, oh, word. Like,
well, I had a feeling, I was like, okay, he's going to hop around to different Wolverines. I thought it was going to be a different person playing Wolverine each time. But having Hugh Jackman on a little person was the greatest thing ever, because there was I think it was partially they did it like that so that way people would go, oh, I do hate that. Yeah. Because even people like me, I'll be the first to say it, I'm like, I'm ready for like the stinky little turd 5'8" Wolverine, 5'5" Wolverine or whatever. Which will work with somebody else that isn't Hugh Jackman, but seeing him that tiny is weird. It's so weird.
It was really weird.
It's so weird.
Another thing that was really, really good in this movie, the choreography.
Action scenes, I didn't expect action scenes to be that good.
We get our first fight, between Deadpool and Wolverine. I love that we get the Deadpool or that Wolverine just going into the crawl.
Dude.
But, we get it to Hell's Bells, and it's very well choreographed, and you're like, okay, that was the big one. Mm-hmm. Then we get a part 2.
I know. I didn't expect a second fight between them.
In the Honda Odyssey.
Which was great,
dude,
too.
That fight scene was insane. It was nuts.
It almost felt like they got David Leitch back to do some... Because David Leitch, he's famous. He was an action stunt coordinator, and they started doing movies, Bullet Train, Deadpool 2, whatever. But, like, they did some creative shit with that van. Yeah. Especially, there's a part where he hung Wolverine by a seatbelt, and I've also, funny joke later when it shows them both sleeping, and Deadpool's in like a cocoon of fucking seatbelts on the side.
I love like mid-fight when they're both laying down, he's like, we're not done. And like it's just covered in blood. He's like, not even close, bud.
Yeah, I love it.
And then they start going at it again.
Oh my god. That Honda Odyssey got fucking wrecked. And I loved it. And oh my god. Just the animosity in that scene. Yeah. So good. Both fights were just fucking tremendous, honestly.
And then Deadpool and Wolverine versus the 100 Deadpools was also like, and it was shot just going, wonder, like so you don't get the depth, but like I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I
Is
actually
that your
have,
one, Matt?
no, but I just remembered something I thoroughly was disappointed about that scene.
Okay.
But yes, other than the action was just great.
Yeah, because even when they're putting the helmet on Cassandra, yeah, and you have Blade, Elektra, and Gambit, and X-23 Laura down there just fighting. We get a scene where Gambit just a quick
Channing Tatum had some cool action scenes.
Yeah, we get a quick scene where he's throwing the cards out and he goes and boom, and then they all it was a really good scene. We get a couple good scenes with Blade. We get a couple good scenes with Elektra. A lot of good action in that too.
If you watch X-Men Origins Wolverine and you see Taylor Kitsch do Gambit in there, there's some cool Gambit stuff that they do, but it's like the standard Gambit stuff you expect to see. Yeah. He has a deck of cards and he shoots them all at you or whatever. I thought for sure it was just going to be shit like that, but I honestly forgot about Gambit's bow staff completely. Yeah. And that was cool. The effects on the eyes were cool. I like that they went, because that costume that Channing Tatum wore was 1-to-1. Yeah. And first of all, I called months ago. I called last year that he would return as Gambit. Well, make an appearance as Gambit. Yeah. Because I don't know if you know, but that movie was on the flames for nearly a decade before it got canceled. And Channing Tatum got fucked bad for that. Yeah. And also all the references they made to that. Yeah. Did you catch on to all those times that he was like, yeah, I never got a chance to do a movie or whatever. And then at one point he said something like, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like I was born here. And it's that's because he never got to appear in anything before now. He's the only one making a first-time appearance in that.
I was ready when I came out of my dad.
Oh, yeah. And then he starts talking about... He was doing some odd Gambit stuff, but, it's fine. I don't care. Whatever.
I loved Channing Tatum's Gambit.
I did, too. The accent wasn't perfect, but...
I love when he walked in and Ryan Reynolds goes... You look like a superhero Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And they did that costume is 1-to-1. Yeah. But now I'm like, okay, do Gambit again, but don't do that. Yeah. Because not just because it's already been done, but also because I was like, you went 1-to-1. Yeah. And it does look pretty goofy. Yeah. So definitely make some tweaks. But honestly, I'm so glad I got to see that. That was my one big wish for seeing them. I was like, I want to see Channing Tatum as Gambit because I know him and Ryan Reynolds are friends. Vis-a-vis,
Another cameo that I didn't even mention: Happy Hogan.
Happy Hogan.
Jon Favreau in this
for a minute. I was like, are they gonna put Iron Man on this?
I thought so too.
I was kind of worried more than anything because I was like, this would kind of ruin it. I feel.
Yeah. I was a fan of how they did the Logan stuff, but now you're taking it too far. And that was early on too. I was like,
true.
No.
I know. That's why I was like, God, are they going to pay this off with something later on? Happy Hogan though, always good to see him. So glad, so good.
He's like, I'm a middleman and I'm happy.
Yeah. All that stuff was good, man.
Honestly, this is up there with Loki as far as handling the multiverse and the TVA stuff. I think they did a really good job handling that, connecting it with him time traveling and in Deadpool 2. And I thought it was one of the, they talked about it. We're in this multiverse now, and some of the movies can get a little inconsistent at times. This one, I think, handled it really well. I
mean, I feel like this one kind of gets the benefit of jumping off of some already established rules.
Yeah.
Because obviously most of this takes from Loki, obviously. Yeah. So, luckily they didn't have to do too much groundwork. They didn't have to do too much explaining. Most of it, actually, they handled pretty good in terms of you don't really need to watch Loki to get it. Just don't be a fucking moron.
Episode 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They specifically call it out. Yeah. Yeah. There's that. And then, and the only thing that sometimes kind of gets is the void. Because it's sometimes you're trapped there forever. You can make it back. You can go into the super death of the void. It's a whatever. But, it's it is what it is.
Yeah. And then I think this has a stellar ending. Mm-hmm. Obviously, after the Deadpool fight, which you'll get into later. Mm-hmm. I liked it. Just this conclusion we get with them trying to save this world and Cassandra's trying to, take over and destroy all these worlds. And I love when when they're talking to Paradox and they're like, how do we end this? And what does he say? He says something like, up the ante. what's at stake, and like just get to the point type of thing, like in a movie.
He's like, give me the stakes. Let's
give me the stakes.
Let's do this. Yeah.
But it was just really well done, and then I love you almost get this feeling like they're gone, but they're not. Yeah. And he's explaining like these two heroes. And you just hear. He risen and he fuck.
You obviously that they're fine.
But the pull down of the mask.
Yeah, that was great. Dude. That was great. Didn't look perfect. Sometimes I could tell it was CGI, but whatever. Like everything. Who gives a shit? Yeah. It was awesome. It was fucking. Sometimes it's okay to stop being a film critic and say it was fucking awesome.
It was awesome.
It was fucking awesome. Yeah. It was great. I loved it. I honestly wish there was more of it. Have you noticed the marketing does not know what to do with that mask? Not only is it there all the time, but in half of the marketing, he has the long sleeves and the hood mask, and sometimes he doesn't have the sleeves. Yeah. So part of my surprise walking in not surprise, but what I was eager to find out is I was like, does he put this on with or without the fucking sleeves? Because in the marketing, he has it both ways. Yeah. Some of the marketing, he has the blue shoulder pads and not the sleeves. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, awesome. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And also we didn't even talk about some of the Cassandra Nova's team and things like that. We skipped over that. We didn't. We kind of mentioned it, but we didn't talk about it. Chris Evans comes back as Johnny Storm. Yeah, that was fucking great. I wanted to see that really bad. I'm so glad.
Everybody was hoping it was Cap when he was like, he's gonna say it, Avengers Assemble, and when he went flame up. We talked about it when he went flame up. I was in the same boat. I was like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, whenever he started talking, I leaned over to Austin. I was like, that's Chris Evans. And he was like, yeah, I know, whatever. And then I sat there for like a second or two, and I just looked at the fact that he was shrouded in a cloak. I leaned over and I went, I bet he's Johnny Storm. Yeah. And then whenever they were like, he's going to say it. At no point did I say, oh, is he going to say Avengers Assemble? I went, he's definitely going to say Flame On. Yeah. And he did. And obviously it was awesome. I thought he died whenever he fell on his neck. I thought he fucking died. Yeah. And then later whenever he showed up in the ball, I was like, is this a different Johnny Storm? Because that one got fucked.
His kill was insane.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, getting
I love the post-credit scene with him. Where
that was great. I will say, that might have been the biggest surprise that Deadpool didn't make any of that shit up. Yeah. Johnny Storm is a shit talker, but man, he went in on the paint on that one.
Yeah, he did.
And then, so a lot of that stuff was great. I think there's something else. We even get some mentions of some other superheroes. Like, they mentioned Daredevil. Yeah. They mentioned some of the X-Men.
Magneto.
They mentioned Magneto a ton. I'm actually impressed and surprised at the restraint to not put the X-Men in here. Yeah. Or a variant of the X-Men or whatever. Literally, the X-Men that you get are Wolverine, Deadpool has been an X-Men, whatever. And then you just get some of the bad guys, There's some random... You saw The Last Stand for the first time today, right? Yeah. Did you notice that there are some minor player mutants in that movie that showed up in Deadpool? Yeah. Like the chick who's fast but has the diamonds on her face, whatever. I was like, why the...
like the minions for Magneto.
I was like, how the fuck did you get a call? Yeah. They brought back Pyro. It was good to see him again. Yeah. They brought back Azazel from First Class. I fucking love Azazel. A little demon version of Nightcrawler, which is Nightcrawler's father. That's why.
Awesome.
And then, seeing some of those characters, not Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut. Yeah. But close enough.
But the worst variant of the Juggernaut.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
I was surprised. I was just saying...
They did all the
I thought for
really
sure
well.
that... Yeah, I did. I thought so
tasteful.
Too. It was tasteful. It wasn't for the sake of... it kind of was for the sake of whatever, but they set the story up to be... It can be whatever. Yeah. It wasn't just... Well, we're trying to do a serious story, but we'll throw in whatever because you like it, nerds. Yeah. It was like...
We do get it.
It was kind of a nice goodbye to the Fox stuff, honestly. Yeah. It was a nice send-off.
We do get a little... when they're getting ready for a fight, and he goes, "Get ready, nerds!"
I thought that was funny. He hilarious. Said whatever he said. His wording made me laugh. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was whenever him and Wolverine fight for the first time. Yeah. He was like, "Get your something, nerds, because this is about to go fucking nuts," or something. Yeah. He says something. Yeah, I'll have to watch it again.
I'm definitely gonna watch this.
Did you also get the feeling, and maybe it was just me, that at the end of this movie, it kind of felt like they were sending not just Hugh Jackman off, but it also felt like they were sending off Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
You think?
In a weird way, it kind of felt like it. First of all, when we get Secret Wars, Hugh Jackman's 100% coming back.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty heavily rumored, but like I would be so shocked if he didn't. Yeah. There's even rumors that he's going to lead the team with some others, which I wouldn't be shocked again. Yeah. Because Secret Wars is basically just going to be Endgame times 1,000. Yeah. Whatever. So I don't think they're not going to come back, but I wouldn't be shocked if
they don't play a big role.
Either
forward.
That, or also I just wouldn't be shocked if maybe after Secret Wars and stuff, the MCU kind of gets a reboot and a revamp, whatever, and we say goodbye to some of these guys. Because that ending just felt so very, you definitely feel like you're not going to see Laura and some of those guys again, obviously.
I feel like the ending of a sitcom.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't
like you're watching the last episode of Friends, but Friends is
exactly
Ryan Reynolds' family.
That's what I'm talking about. And then like Hugh Jackman even gets a send off. Now he's got a daughter. Yeah. Now he's got to save it kind of feels like everybody's where they need to be again. Yeah. So I don't know. It just kind of feels like it could have
good happy ending.
I honestly, if the MCU reboot happened and we don't see these guys ever again, I wouldn't be mad at ends like this. Yeah. And also, again, even though like they did shit on Logan in a way, they did it in also a very impressively tasteful way. Yeah. To where I don't feel like that was wasted or whatever. For sure. And also to bring him back and to see Wolverine the way we wanted to is just fucking... Deadpool was right. Not giving him... Man, I have effing Jeffed all over this place. Yeah. But he... Just giving it 20 years to give him that suit and that mask is actually ridiculous.
And we finally got it.
And it's finally, and he even said in the movie, he's like, once it feels like we got Wolverine, but he's not ashamed to be a superhero.
Exactly.
And that's incredible.
Another thing to talk about in the good, not perfect, and you touched on it with the mask a little bit, but given where we are at in the MCU, the effects
were solid.
Really good.
There's a few things, like I said, something I'll get into, but for the most part, I'm not going to complain about just like, oh, the CGI was bad. No shot. It actually, and I think it was because, again, it's the only one releasing this year.
Took their time.
They gave it time. Yeah. They put a lot into this. Imagine if you
let your workers work.
Imagine, if only we just had a strike about this shit.
And then another great thing about this movie, and I think it's a staple for the Deadpool movies, just like it's a staple for the Guardians movies.
Soundtrack, I know.
Soundtrack was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the fucking end scene, the Madonna,
the Greatest
Deadpool
Showman
and
showed
Wolverine.
Up. Did you hear the Greatest Showman?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that pissed me off about this, and me and Austin were talking about this earlier, is it happens on the radio for like a split second. Yeah. They released the Deadpool soundtrack on Twitter the other day. They just posted, hey, here's everything that's going to be in it. They put the Greatest Show thing in there. And I was like, why the fuck would you spoil that? Like, that's a huge surprise for the movie. In the movie, if you're not paying attention, you could totally miss that. Yeah. So now I'm pissed for a different reason. Because it's barely in the movie and you put it in the track list. I would not put that in the track list. Yeah.
I loved them. I loved the final scene with Madonna, dude. Like, when they come out and they're like, when you put Deadpool and Wolverine together and Madonna.
Yeah, that was solid. Yeah. That was solid. At no point did I feel like they were going to die. Obviously, whenever there's two of them, I was like, yeah, they're doing the Guardians thing. Yeah. With more people, they're not going to die. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Which I was fine with, by the way.
Especially also, since they are regenerative, too. Like, they both have that ability. Like, it makes sense. If it's like Spider-Man and Iron Man, if it's like Iron Man and Batman, two humans holding hands,
fucked.
They're done.
Great, absolutely fucked. Yeah. Also, in Wolverine, I like how the whole time Deadpool's like, whiskey dick old Wolverine, and he hasn't been working out, whatever. And then finally at the end, his shirt pops, and we see that Hugh Jackman is obviously in shape. Yeah, and he still got it. He's still ripped. He's still ripped.
Still got it. And everybody from the TVA and mainly from the TVA had the hots for Peter.
That's right. Oh, it's nice to see her again. Yeah. I should have looked up her name. She's in Lovecraft Country. You guys should watch that. It's a good thing. But Loki season 1 and 2, she's terrific. Especially in Loki season 2, she's incredible.
Yeah, she. I loved the little connection her and Peter have. And Paradox was like, what the hell's going on?
That was wild. Yeah. I can't believe that. I feel like there's going to be more things I'll remember later, but for now. God damn, that's a good movie.
Yeah, so good.
Solid.
I don't have anything the meh and the bad, but we'll hop to the meh because you do. Hit me.
Meh. There's one thing, I can't remember what the other thing is, but one of the things that bothered me is that scene where they do kill all the other Deadpools. Is if you watch, because I was watching Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the background, because I'm like, I've seen a lot of Deadpool action. I've seen a lot of Wolverine action. Haven't seen Wolverine action in a suit.
Yeah.
Right? So I was watching him, and he like, I think he was just kind of chopping at nothing. And a lot of it was him doing the same. He grabs somebody and then just does this a bunch.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I would have liked to see something choreographed. Like the one time he does like, the jump, the lunge at somebody or whatever. But like I would have liked to have seen more variety than just hacking.
That's fair.
And even if you're going to hack, like do really some cool spinning and whatever. See, even in the bus scene, I couldn't see.
We just get the blood splatter on the window. It gave me very Texas Chainsaw vibes from the new one.
Yeah.
Which that's the only scene in the movie that's good. So,
yeah, fair enough. I couldn't. Yeah, that,
and then when they jump through the window,
that was fine on that.
And then Deadpool doesn't land.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun.
Everyone's gonna remember that I didn't stick the landing.
Getting him in some pretty sweet poses was nice in that mask.
Yeah.
Like especially like, I didn't feel at any point that I should cheer, and a few times, or not cheer, like clap or whatever. Yeah. But I was kind of tempted whenever Wolverine put the mask on, and whenever he did the load up thing, I was like, oh yeah.
I'm for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Yeah.
That is the stuff.
I text you for the movie. One word, go. You go insane. I go wow, and you're like, that's your one word. I go bust.
Bust.
Dude, it was so good.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? Yeah, I think he was also just going at. I think it was like CGI characters. I think he was just told to kind of just hack at nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There was something else that I wasn't. The pacing weirded me out for one part specifically, which is it feels very final with the Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain, that's a DC character. The Cassandra Nova stuff where she sends them through the portal. I felt it was kind of out of her character to go after she's like, if you take this helmet off me, I'm going to kill you for like 5 minutes, and then to not kill them, send them back to the regular universe as a thank you. And then to go to that universe and try to destroy every universe. It just like, it was kind of weird because it felt like they got her. Felt like they got her, and then they had to get her again. But there was a Deadpool thing. Just the climax of everything was just kind of, it was kind of a weird third act. But I didn't hate it. It was just kind of, it sat weird with me.
Moves fast for 2 hours and 7 minutes.
It absolutely did.
This movie,
when they initially released that runtime, I was like, I hope it's not what I think it is, because that's not going to work in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It did. It did. It was solid. They definitely move.
Yeah.
They move quick as fuck.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that, because especially towards the beginning, I was like, not that I don't care, but can we just get Wolverine in this, please?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to get to that stuff.
Yeah.
And boy, we got it. I know I feel so selfish for wanting to keep Hugh Jackman around. I don't want to keep him around until it gets ruined.
Until he's 90.
But goddamn, I am not sick of it. I think I'm riding high off this movie. I'm ready for a reboot. I am ready for him to put it down. But like, I kind of want to see him again.
If you think about it, like,
I'm not mad at seeing him again. But they should reboot.
We've gotten back-to-back hits from him in the Wolverine, role.
Some misses.
No, I mean the back.
He's
two though.
Oh, the last two, yeah. And also, no matter what, like, X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think that movie's overhated. Yeah. First of all. Second of all, I don't think he's put in a bad Wolverine performance. I don't think that's even possible. I don't even think that's like a cold. I don't think it's a hot take.
Yeah.
I think everybody agrees he's always been
the best part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect comic accurate Wolverine, not really, but I mean, he's not accurate. He's not. We
saw that we don't need the
spot
comic book
on.
Accurate.
Huh?
We saw we don't need the comic book accurate.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I think whenever they redo it, I think they're gonna have to go wildly different to differentiate, because they really set the next person up for failure with how many returns he's gotten to have.
Yeah.
Plus, like, his fans alone. There's a lot of people who say he's irreplaceable. I don't like saying that kind of shit. People say Iron Man's irreplaceable, need to grow up. I hate that shit. Yeah. I will not ever agree with that. You know, I love Robert Pattinson's Batman. He's not irreplaceable.
Yeah.
With a character like this, irreplaceable should not exist in your fucking vocabulary.
Yeah.
Because that's not how these characters operate.
Yeah.
There's different writers, different comic books, different strands, different what's variants? What's the different strokes for different folks or whatever? Like these characters are gods. They'll live on forever through reinterpretation. You have to get on board with that. Heath Ledger did not die with the Joker. Yeah. The Joker lives on.
Something I was just thinking about, you know, you touched on, like, it feels like a goodbye. Do you think we'll get that Deadpool and Thor scene, or do you think that was just a fun plug-in?
I think it was a fun plug-in.
Okay. That's kind of how I felt, too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Very
reminiscent to, obviously, Endgame.
I thought it was reminiscent to...
Infinity War.
I thought it was reminiscent to Thor the Dark World, where he's holding Loki as he dies.
That's fair. It almost gave me, like, the Stark, I'm not feeling so well.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I see that.
And so, look, Deadpool would be Spider-Man and Thor would be Iron Man type of situation.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, I guess it almost also feels like the end of Endgame with Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I guess.
Just the roles flipped.
That's an annoying scene.
What?
His wife's standing right next to you. You knew him for like 2 years. You want to fucking move, Peter?
Yeah, that's fair.
It just feels like a goodbye. This movie doesn't end with, like, you know, because I expected somebody to go, will we ever see you guys again? And them to be like, oh, you know, maybe. Or we'll get the Deadpool will return, or Deadpool and Wolverine will return.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of that shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Guess we'll wait and see.
And also, this whole movie is about him saving his universe. I thought it was going to be about him coming over to our MCU universe.
Yeah.
That's
where I was.
I just ATM machined it. I just chai tea'd it. MCU universe. Anyway. But yeah.
But no, I wasn't saying about that. What I was thinking, I was like, he didn't come over to this Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean something? But obviously, in the world where we've been building for the last few movies, no one's ever stuck in their own world.
I think I know what they're building up to. Yeah. I think they're building up to an Earth Prime situation.
Yeah.
Where everyone converges. But anyway, bad stuff?
No. I don't have anything that bad.
Oh, I was asking. I'm not the host. I don't get to determine. Do you
have anything that bad?
I don't get to listen. I don't get to determine when we go to the next segment. I was asking you if we're going into the bad.
Do you have anything that bad?
No.
Then yeah, well, final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with Deadpool and Wolverine, and what do you rate this movie?
I mean, it's solid. It's good.
It's good.
It's funny. You know, I don't want to speak too soon and say it's great.
Use bigger words.
It's
hilarious.
It feels great. It's hilarious. It is astronomically impressive. Is that big enough?
There you go.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
Visually stunning.
Yeah, it's visually stunning.
Can't beat it.
Okay. It is a really great. I don't want to speak too early. It's really good. I had a really good time with this.
Yeah.
I think this is one that absolutely deserves your attention. I think it deserves the proper time to turn off your brain. I think it deserves the attention it's getting. It's an event. This movie's an event, and that's totally fine. You know, not every movie should be an event. Not every movie has to be an event. This was an event. This is the biggest movie of the year, probably. Yeah. You know.
Speaking on it's an event, one of the workers at Cinemark, as I was leaving, I hear him go, I don't even get excited for Marvel movies anymore because the amount of people we get. Just to put it into perspective how much of an event it was. There was not an empty seat in this theater tonight.
Yeah, if you could tip a cinema worker, you probably should. But I never really get to. Yeah. But yeah, I think it is a terrific movie. I think it was handled well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a blast. This might be my favorite Deadpool movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to speak too early. It's still probably Deadpool 2, probably just because I'm trying to stay modest before I speak too out of terms. But anyway, I'm going to give it a 9.
9?
I'm going to give it a 9. It stayed true to Deadpool himself. It stayed true to Wolverine while still doing some interesting things with him. It stayed true to some of the side characters. Like, Johnny Storm's a shithead, even though he says a lot of cuss words. Elektra, Blade, the modern interpretation of Blade, like Gambit. Gambit was Gambit, you know? Even the fact that he says Cher all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, that's right down to him being Cajun power. So,
yeah.
Right on, Sean Levy. Sean Levy? God.
Levy.
However you say it.
Yeah. Sean.
Anyway, I doubted you way too hard. Mr. Sean, I shouldn't have doubted you that hard. It was an incredible movie. Well done.
Yeah. For me, I went in with a lot of hype, and I was not let down. It's hard to say if this is my favorite Deadpool as well, just because how much I love that first one and the second one, honestly, but it might be. It might be. And with that being said, I think the first one's a 10 out of 10, and if this has me thinking if this is my favorite or not.
You're going to give it a 10?
It's a 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah.
I don't have any full... there's nothing I didn't like about it. This was a movie... I smiled the entire 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there the entire time.
Oh, yeah, man. Same.
If fly flew, it would just went right down my throat.
Absolutely. I definitely caught myself doing something I don't do too often, which is God, please tell me this isn't coming to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last few years, I think the Batman, Dune, Part 2, this, I mean... It just tells you what kind of movies I watch.
Yeah.
But I think those are some of the few movies that I genuinely felt that with.
Yeah. And way to make a name for themselves in one attempt. This is a top 10 MCU project, if not top 5 for me.
I would, I'd maybe put it in top 10.
And...
Yeah, probably.
Leave it to Deadpool and Wolverine to do it on first try.
For sure.
We needed this bad.
Knocked it out of the park. I mean, how you follow up to it might... Here's the thing. The next project... could affect my feelings on this.
That's true. That's true. Is Blade canceled?
This has... I don't even want to talk about it. Maybe. I don't. Honestly, I truthfully think Mahershala Ali has already left, or he's going to leave.
Yeah.
Because I think they've been setting us up for that idea, so that way when it happens, we're not too surprised.
Yeah.
But, because I wouldn't stick around. Are you fucking kidding me? It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
And nothing's happening.
Yeah. But this movie was great, man. Was really happy we get as big of a group as we did.
Me too. That was terrific. Having 15-ish.
We had 21.
What? I thought we had 15. Where'd the extra 6 people come from?
I had 18 tickets. Chris and his dad bought tickets separate, and then Emmy. So that's 21.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Awesome. It was great. It was awesome. It was fun to see everybody there. It was fun to see Ben and Chloe there.
Yeah. We almost had the entire row J. We were like 3 seats off.
Yeah, and honestly, if I had known Ben and Chloe were going to be at the same screening with Ben's dad, John, I could have hit them up and they could have been in those seats.
Yeah.
That was terrific.
Great watch experience. A full theater. It wasn't like Spider-Man in the sense that like clapping overtook scenes, but like there was still that presence there. That
absolutely
the good vibes, the immaculate feelings.
Boy, your stomach drops when Blade walks in the room.
Yeah.
The huge musical fucking...
I'm pretty sure
needle drop.
I'm pretty sure I looked at Mike, well, let's fucking go.
When that happened, I looked at Austin. I was like, dude. Yeah. And next year, next July is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
The battle of DC and Marvel's next year.
Yeah.
You know what's next?
Because Legacy is for DC.
It's not called Superman Legacy, actually. Well, it's just called Superman.
You know, Superman.
Yeah. And it still kind of has the moniker of Legacy stuck to Fantastic Four.
That's right. Yep, that is July.
That's a battle.
Brave World is what, February?
Brave New World is February, yeah.
Okay.
I think, are there any other MCU projects? I don't know. San Diego Comic-Con's happening right now.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Maybe some other stuff will happen.
But...
Yeah, that literally they had a bunch of stuff happen while we were in that theater.
Yeah.
Same thing with The Flash. Whenever he came out of The Flash, it was like, Andy Muschietti's directing Batman, the DC, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I feel it's got to be intentional because both times, Thursday night, blah, you know.
Last year in July, this time we got Oppenheimer and Barbie, and this year we get Deadpool and Wolverine.
I bet. I'm surprised they didn't reference that, actually.
Honestly, same.
You know what? I am so down. Somebody make a Wolverine dressed as Oppenheimer holding Deadpool dressed as Barbie. I bet it already exists.
Have you looked at the posters on Letterboxd?
No, yeah. There's got to be a huge variation.
The comic book one's cool because the comic book one is like the comic book art, but it's the Step Brothers poster. where Wolverine and him are the stepbrothers. Yeah. They have the Nightmare on Elm Street one where Wolverine's reaching over Deadpool's face while he's laying in bed.
Okay. Like Nancy. Yeah. Where her eyes are.
Yep.
That picture's always
they have that
been weird
poster.
to me.
There's a lot of cool like posters that and that's Deadpool's done that before. I mean, like,
yeah.
I remember with the first one, I think they did one on My Cousin Vinny. They did the Toy Story ones.
Yeah. Remember what they did with the Walmart, the like re-release DVDs or whatever?
Yeah.
I have a copy of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who I was talking to or why, but they for some reason had me slide it out, and I took it out and I looked at it. I was like, I do not remember this being the Deadpool variant.
Yeah.
It's Assassin's Deadpool.
So it's fun to see that they're still messing around with other films in the marketing.
For sure. Deadpool just gets away with it all, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's the man.
It's interesting.
He's the Marvel Jesus.
That was funny. Yeah. I did love all that stuff.
I'm a Messiah. I'm the Messiah. I looked at you when that was said too, because I just thought of doing Messiah.
Lisa and Al Marvel.
Yeah, I just immediately was like, but I heard Messiah like Kory.
Surprised they didn't reference Dune, honestly, because they usually catch on to this shit pretty good. And also, we forgot to mention these jokes. We got to give some credit to the writers, because that had to have been done by the writers. Do you know why? Because whenever this was being filmed during the strike, improvising was counted as writing. Yeah. So any jokes that were done had to have been written before.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can ADR some stuff and there's ways around it, blah, 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 blah. Most of the jokes fucking landed for sure.
When the guy from the bar starts like, are you fucking improvising right now?
Dude, that was... he goes, bitch, are you improvising right now? that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. I want to go see it again so bad.
Yeah, I'll see it again.
For Discount Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe, honestly. $5. I want some distance. I don't want to watch it like tomorrow, but I definitely want to watch it again.
I'll probably give it the weekend, but like Tuesday wouldn't be a bad move for
Absolutely.
$5.50.
$5.50. Yeah. I'll watch that. I'll watch Deadpool again.
For sure. That'll do it for Deadpool and Wolverine. Kory.
Let's fucking go.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you all for watching. Please go check out Deadpool and Wolverine if you haven't already. You're definitely spoiled, so go watch it now. But let us know what you thought of the movie as well, please. And thank you. Like, comment, subscribe,
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
if you like what you're watching, please check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Anything is appreciated. And we will talk to you all soon. Peace.
You should do your best Wolverine yell.
I don't know if I can do a Wolverine yell.
You could do it. You can do it. I
don't think
Are you embarrassed?
I'm going to butcher it, dude.
Do you want me to do it?
You got it.
I'll rip it. You ready?
Crazy.
This
you
is
got it. She says I do.
I'm a little nervous. She's going to be mad at me. You ready? Victor!
There it is. Peace.